Hey everybody, welcome back to another Young Saadi unboxing video. And today we're going to be talking about a speaker. But not just any speaker. Something a little special, something a little cool, a little fun, something that I was pretty excited for as soon as I heard about it, and of course picked it up as soon as I had the opportunity. Today we're going to be unboxing the HomePod Mini. Now, the HomePod Mini is it's a pretty nifty little speaker that Apple has designed. It is pretty cool that the price tag is a smooth $99, and on top of that, it's got a good amount of features that I kind of want to get into here in just a moment. Before we actually get to the unboxing. So before I get into the features here and before we discuss it further, just want to go ahead and plug, per usual, my channels and my pages. You can follow me, of course, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram, and I stream on Twitch, all under the same handle, Young Saadi, spelled YUNGSAADI, where you can find a bunch of content in streams. In music. So, keep an eye out for new stuff. I am always posting. So, shameless plug is now over. Let's go ahead and discuss the features here. Now, the HomePod Mini is only 3.3 inches high. Like, it's just a little, it's essentially like a little kind of ball, and what's really cool about it is that it is covered in a mesh layer. So, it's very similar to the original HomePod, where it has that kind of like, it's a kind of a squishy mesh design that is still there. And I think they did it just as elegantly for the Mini as they did for the original HomePod. One of the things that's also pretty cool with this new speaker is that you're actually able to stereo pair the HomePod Mini to another HomePod Mini. So if you would, if you happen upon, nifty $200, what up government, where's my stimmy? Then you can go ahead and pick up a second speaker and two HomePod Minis. I think with the kind of sound that you'd be getting, I think it'd be pretty worth it if you have the extra shekels. So, definitely something to think about there. On top of that, something that I think a lot of people, similar to me, a lot of super mainline Apple users, with the whole ecosystem and the whole, kind of setup, more or less, something that we're going to appreciate there is that it is very, very plugged in. So you can use it, of course, with iOS. You can use it with your reminders to send or read text messages, all of those features. Of course, but on top of that, you'd be able to use it with Apple Music. So if you already have a subscription, you'd be able to just play music straight from there. And then the library's at your it's at your disposal. All you have to do is use Siri, which is also, of course, it's the guiding assistant for this speaker, for this smart speaker, right? You just use Siri, and then you'd be able to locate a song. Of course, if you are just listening to some random music on Apple Music, you can actually use a voice command and tell Siri to add it to your library, which is a pretty neat thing. I think something I wanted to kind of mention. But anyway, on top of that, it's got this newer feature here. It's called Intercom with part of the software for it. So you would be able to intercom a message from one HomePod, or like HomePod Mini or HomePod, right, to another one in another part of the house. And you can just do that using Siri as well, and then it sends a quick intercom message to that room or that area, which is pretty cool. And then I would say as part of that, HomeKit is kind of a big, like the HomeKit setup, the connection that you'll have to different, if you have Hue light bulbs, if you have things for your blinds, things for your ceiling fans. I know there's a lot of HomeKit enabled accessories now. And of course, just like the HomePod Mini will allow you to control them with your voice and through Siri, just as you would regularly. Okay, this part, want to make sure I went into detail for. So the last feature here that I'm going to talk about So the HomePod Mini uses computational audio, again similar to the HomePod, right? And of course it has a 360 sound. So it is designed where it's not facing any particular direction like a traditional speaker, but of course you have a full audio, spatially kind of set area. You can put it in there. You can just, and what's really nice about it is that the HomePod, and I'm sure this is also the HomePod Mini, they're designed to kind of get a sense of where they are from the walls using the audio and like the bounce back and the microphones. So what they're able to do with computational audio essentially is be very aware of the surrounding kind of environment, so it provides a better audio, like a better sound, which is really cool whenever you have it in the corner up against like two walls that they intersect, because it will know to shift the audio. And I gotta say, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I had my doubts for sure, but it sounds incredible. Like the highs are not too boastful. They're not reaching too much, but they're absolutely comfortable where they're at, where it sounds just crisp, and you could listen to something that really does have those really, really vocal heavy kind of performances. The mids, fantastic as usual. Apple usually does like perfect, just like with the AirPods with mids. And then the lows were surprisingly nice. There's a good thump there. There's a good bass to it. It's not it's not drowning out the rest of the sound, and it doesn't cause any this is one of the issues I had with the original HomePod, as a matter of fact, is that the bass is it's too thumpy, and it makes me feel like I'm making more noise than I need to be. Where with this one, you can put it on your desk, or you can just have it for the room. The audio is, it gets very loud without any distortion, which again, very, very impressive. But on top of that, if you're just like, let's say, sitting in front of your computer and you're doing some work and you have the HomePod there, it'll do absolutely great for that situation as well. So, so those are the features there, and that's about everything I wanted to discuss before getting into it. So at this point, we'll go ahead and move on over to the unboxing portion of this video. But of course, just as a reminder, you can always find new content on my channels, and my handle, of course, is Young Saadi. That's YUNG SAADI. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. All right, so here we have the Apple HomePod Mini, and you'll notice from the first glance that the box is pretty straightforward. On the front here and the back, it looks like we have product photos, and then on the sides, you'll get a couple of these fun little designs here, jazzed up visualizations of what your music will sound like on this thing. Then, of course, on the bottom, we'll have the standard serial number, what comes in the box, this and that. But we're about to see that here in just a moment. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it here. And I'm just going to go ahead and this part's going to be right off screen here, just because my serial number is on this box and I don't want anyone messing with me. Alright, so let's take a look here. There we go. Okay, so we got that opened up. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Just gonna lift it right up. The slow burn that Apple loves to do with all their boxes and packaging. All right, and there we have it. This again is the Apple HomePod Mini in the space gray color, I believe it is. So let's go ahead and take this part out here, and you'll see just right off the bat, it fits right in my palm. Really, really cool, kind of compact design. But from what I've heard, the sound absolutely kind of comes through with a very 360 feel to it. So that's really cool. And then you'll see the cable here in the back connected. That's part of it. You cannot remove this. This is just like the back of the speaker here. and then it goes to a USB-C connector, which is pretty nice because you don't just have to have an Apple, you don't have to just have an Apple connector. Like, you can use any USB-C brick that to be able to power that. So let's have that right there on the side there. And right there on the side there, we're gonna go ahead and open this. Check this out here. Okay, and then here. Oh, and they gave it to you. Okay, cool. You never know anymore, so that's really cool. Looks like, yeah, we do have the USB-C brick here. So this will, in this one, wattage. If you can see there, it's a 20 watt. I have it on there, so yeah, but 20 watt here, so very, very cool. And that's everything that comes in the box. So let's go ahead and look at some of the regulatory stuff here. Let's see. Well. Okay, so take all this out here. So then that's just that little piece. And then we have one singular sticker, because just in case you don't have one of these, just in case, they want to make sure that you're all the way set. And then we'll have the HomePod Mini, the little kind of connection guide here, but it's going to be pretty straightforward if you own an iOS device, which is kind of the point here. And then just like some sweet fine print. The best of the fine print, the black and white. It's really what you need to know. All right, very cool, very cool. Awesome, and then I'll go ahead and get this plugged in, and I'll probably be putting either on Instagram or my Twitter, I'll be putting kind of my thoughts and my review and what I think. Similar to the Sony, was it XM4s? That WH-XM4s, I believe, but the headphones. Same thing here. I'll be putting the kind of like the impressions on the sound, what I think about it, just overall, on my Twitter, probably on my Instagram, and maybe, you know what, maybe I'll just do it on all my pages, so Facebook as well. But I'll be giving that a try here in just a moment. But before I do that and I close this part out, let me go ahead. We have this, right? So why don't we just why don't we get a comparison going? So let's go ahead and here we go. Take a look there. Alrighty. So here is Apple's regular HomePod. So this is kind of the size difference here. Now on the top, what it looks like is they actually have the kind of the plus and minus as part of the that glass kind of top piece here, this touch screen area, where this comes out as actual lights for the plus and minus whenever it's plugged in. So you notice it there. But other than that, they're very similar. Again, you have this mesh overlay, which is carried over from the original HomePod, and then it's got a little bit of squish to it. It's definitely has the software for that 3D audio, that really spatial sound to determine the walls near it, and of course what adjustments need to be made for the best audio experience. So I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. So thank you so much for watching another Young Saadi unboxing video. I'm sure there will be more to come in the future. Keep an eye out for my streams, both gaming and Tune Tunes music. Other than that, keep an eye out on my pages, of course, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, under Young Saadi. That's YUNGSAADI. You can find me at that handle pretty much anywhere. So make sure to keep it locked, like, and of course subscribe if you do want to get some brand new content clips and what have you from my YouTube page. So cool. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Later.